Thursday, May 31st, 3 p.m. Mountain Time, 2018. Guys, in this video, we are here at the website, MrMBB333.com. We're going to visit this tab here, this green tab that says Wildlife Behavior. I've got some new strange observations to share with you guys. But first, before we get started on that, I want to visit this real-time lightning map. If you click on this tab here, it's real-time lightning data. This is a global counter of lightning strikes around the world. The global number for the last 2 hours is almost 70,000. In fact, earlier it was over 70,000. My friend Craig from New Jersey noticed it was up around 77,000, I think. But as you can see, the majority of these strikes are coming from Central Europe. We'll go to Central Europe real quick. The 2-hour total is just over 40,000 lightning strikes. That's a photographer's dream if you like to film lightning strikes. Go over to North America, and east of the Mississippi River, 26,100 in the last 120 minutes. So the atmosphere is loaded with energy right now. So I wanted to share that with you guys before it updated. In fact, when it updates, it could be more. But right now, that number is incredibly high. Jumping over to the wildlife behavior map, I'm going to have to reconfigure this page as I'm getting reports now from New Zealand and Australia. The maps have been updated that I do have on the page, but I want to start with the first story out of New Zealand, where they're saying an absolutely massive emu was walking the streets of New Zealand. Emus aren't native to New Zealand. They're typically seen in Australia. They're in the family of the ostrich. The ostrich is slightly bigger, but they are relatives. But emu, as you can see here at Wikipedia, are typically over in Australia, not New Zealand. So these people were very surprised. You can find this video in the description box down below. They're saying this was a very large emu. It was absolutely massive by people's account that saw it. And there it is right there. You can see that is a very large bird walking through the streets of New Zealand. They caught these people by total surprise. So I don't know if this is from a farm. Somehow a wild emu made it over to New Zealand somehow. I have no idea. The story you can find below in the description box. But that is very, very unusual. That was sent in by Tony from New Zealand. And once again, New Zealand is not home to emu. They're typically found over in Australia. So it could have been a farm animal that got loose, but at this point, have no idea. Our next pit stop is going to be over in France, where a deer was spotted in a church. I don't know how this occurred, because this church, according to Google Earth, and we're going to go to this church, is in a very metropolitan setting. Look at that. This is the church. So I don't know what to make of this. Look at that. It's all concrete. Where did the deer come from? Anyway, the video you can find also in the description box below, but they're calling this a stray deer, and somehow it wound up in this church. Pretty incredible, and that's over in France. How we kind of got started on this wildlife behavior watch is from this little creature right here. When I received this picture several weeks back, just from looking at this, you knew something wasn't right. This is a roadrunner inside of a car rental business up on the counter, looking at the people behind the counter. In fact, this person that took the picture, you can tell they were just to the left of this bird, and he wasn't the least bit fazed by his presence. He took a picture of him. He just stood there on the counter. This is the customer service counter. So once we saw this, we knew something was up. So we began watching just the creatures of Earth, and they have been putting on a performance almost weekly, if not daily in some cases. This picture here was sent in by Stephen from, I want to say, Claremont, Florida. I'm familiar with Claremont, Florida. I used to live near Claremont. And these creatures are native to the state of Florida. They're cranes. And apparently someone had the front door of their house open, and a family of cranes walked right in the front door. Unbelievable. Look at that. Walked right in the house. Talk about strange. Here's another goose sitting in a mall parking lot. This is probably the 4th different photograph I've seen in the last 2 months of a goose sitting in a parking lot of a retail outlet, whether it be a mall or a strip mall. This case here, I think it's another mall. There's 2 pictures. This is from Ohio. Yeah, this is outside of some mall in Ohio. A goose just sitting out in the middle of the parking lot. Weird. This was sent in just today by Conrad from Northeast Pennsylvania here in the United States. That's a very large bear in his neighbor's yard. He said that's the biggest bear he's ever seen. And don't normally see bears this close to people's homes. Yeah, they're not uncommon there, but to see them up near a residential home like that was very unusual. And what was even more unusual was the fact that he got very comfortable right in their backyard. Look at that. He laid down to take a nap in their backyard. And again, this is from Northeast Pennsylvania, and this was sent in today. He took these pictures. Here's another one, today. So I don't know if he was hungry and was up milling around their house looking for food. Normally when they're out on the prowl like that, they're looking for food. So that would not be a good setting if they're coming up to someone's home looking for food. I don't know if he found something to eat there. That's why he kind of parked it in the backyard. But anyway, that's a very large bear spotted in Northeast Pennsylvania by Conrad. This picture here was sent in by Kevin from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Kevin spotted yet another turkey walking through the middle of town. That's been a common theme for the past few months. Turkeys in town, and they're walking down the street just like you see right here. And this has been happening all over the country and in even different parts of the world. And here's yet another example of a wild turkey just walking right through the middle of town. Unbelievable. So guys, that's all I got for now. Emus in New Zealand, bears in Northeast Pennsylvania, up near residential homes, taking a nap, quite possibly in a backyard. Goose in Ohio, sitting in another mall parking lot. Cranes walking in the front door of a home in Claremont, Florida. That's the Roadrunner that kind of started this whole thing back many, many weeks ago when he walked into a car rental place to rent a car, I guess. Got a deer in a church over in France. Can't confirm or deny the validity of this video. I think it's real. You can find it below in the description box, but the location of this setting is very, very urban. I mean, there's a lot of concrete here. I don't know how this deer would have made it that far into this setting unless it got out from a zoo or something. I have no idea. But that is a very metropolitan area. For a deer to be inside of a church like that, it doesn't really surprise me in this day and age, but I just don't really know how he got that far in town. And then the last one was the emu in New Zealand, walking right through the middle of town. Unbelievable. Thanks for sharing, guys. Keep the pictures and videos coming. We greatly appreciate them. And I am working on the emails as they come in. We're getting a lot these days because there's a lot going on around the world. So keep them coming. Keep the pictures coming. We greatly appreciate them, but just bear with me. Give me time to get through them because I do get a lot now on a daily basis. And that's a good thing. I like that, but it does take time to get through them. So thanks again, guys. I really appreciate it. Have a super day and be safe out there.